Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. I have to jump back a sentence because I left out a really beautiful part when I was a little careless. Even a Zen guy can be not mindful sometimes. But this is great because I get to talk about it today. And it's Master Dogen's wonderful existential vision once again, in which he sees that when we're sitting zazen, we find ourselves by losing ourselves and realizing that we're all things and all things are just us. And in doing that, our self is revalued and seen to be a jewel, just doing its self thing. And it's great. It's a great existential vision in which not only are you doing what you need to do, but you are all things doing what all things need to do. Master Dogen sees that the self is realized as the self, and it's not just the small self, it's the big self, which is just, in Master Dogen's words, the Buddha doing his Buddha thing. The big Buddha. Now this is where some people are going to jump in and go, Jundo, settle down. What do you mean this world is just doing what it's supposed to be doing, and that all things in this world and all people are just doing what they need to be doing? Don't you open a newspaper? Don't you see the headlines? All the terrible things that people are doing in this world? This flu that's in Mexico, killing innocent people. Volcanoes and tidal waves, killing innocent people. A fellow wrote the other day and said his son died last year. Today's sitting is dedicated to him. How can you say this world is just the Buddha doing the Buddha thing? Get closer, please. Listen to what I'm about to say like you've never listened to anything before. In our sitting, in the stillness, when the self and the other disappear, we see that there was no place to go when you die. There was never ever a place to come from when you're born, and it's all still here. There are no two people in this world to do violence to each other. There are no separate armies of mine and yours to have a war. And there's even no separation from the sea and the tidal wave that sweeps people away. I know it's hard for some people to grasp this, but there is a vision in our sitting, a taste, where all is settled and still, and there is no conflict, and there is no birth, and there is no death. And it's just like waves that rise from the sea and go back to the sea, and the sea is always just doing its ocean thing, like I talked about the other day. The ocean is just the ocean, whether there's a storm on the ocean, a big wave, a tidal wave, a small wave, whether our lives rise up in the ocean like a wave, and then when we die we go back into the ocean. The ocean is just doing its ocean thing. It's doing its Buddha work. This is what Master Dogen is speaking of. From that perspective, we see that every wave on that sea is precious. And every moment of this life is precious. And you, even though you are all things and you're really not there from one Buddhist perspective, from another Buddhist perspective, we're always dealing in different perspectives in Buddhism. You are certainly there, and you are a jewel, you are precious. But again, even though you do not need to lift a finger to make this world more perfectly this world. How you live makes all the difference. Again, we're always dealing with a couple of channels here, not two. Live a good, peaceful, loving life. Live a life of violence, hate, and anger. It's up to you. And the effects you'll have in this world, you make all the difference. The world doesn't care if there's a storm in the world or a peaceful sea. The ocean doesn't care, but it makes all the difference. So we make all the difference. How you live today. Even though it's all the Buddha's work, you should try to live like a Buddha would, with peace, with love, with kindness.